If you were new to Baton Rouge, I would tell you that we are a regional area agency on aging. We cover the southeast region of Louisiana, encompassing 17 parishes. Not all services are in all parishes. We're mainly an administrative office.
We have 10 councils on aging underneath our umbrella. And so the federal dollars flow through the Capital Area Agency on Aging, and then we contract with the councils on aging.
Those councils on aging are the ones who provide the services. We provide the funding flow through and the guidance and the oversight.
The focus really is accountability, but planning and development. So you're going into a clean slate, as it were, the green field, and where there's nothing, and you work with them to determine what you're going to do, and you provide a contract with funds.
There for technical assistance, and they help us with anything we need. They come and do assessments at our office. They just help us with everything in general. There's nothing if we don't know anything, we just call, and if they don't know the answer, they'll find the answer, but they're very helpful to the COAs.
It's a collaborative effort, and all councils work well with this staff who all have 20 and 30 year tenure, so they must like something about their jobs.
Councils on Aging, if I may name them, Assumption, East Feliciana, Iberville, Point Capiz, St. Helena, Tangipahoa, Washington, West Baton Rouge, and West Feliciana actually do our core services, like the transportation and meals, the homemaker, telephoning.
I brag about the services that they bring to seniors. I brag about the commitment of the employees here. Just the entire organization is just a conversation of bragging for me.
I was working for the East Baton Rouge Council on Aging, which had just been kind of recreated. And this was like 1973, which is the same year that the Older Americans Act was reauthorized, and we were designated to write the area plan for the 11 parish area that was the district surrounding Baton Rouge.
Well, I've been here as long as the agency has been here. In fact, I worked for the local community action agency a long time ago, and my boss then, Al Bankston, wrote a grant to establish the first council on aging. And then out of that council on aging grew the area agency on aging. So out of college, straight into here, so I've grown up in the aging network.
To tell you the truth, long before I was recruited for the board, I had personal experience with Capital Area Agency on Aging. My father had diabetes and which led to kidney disease in the mid-'80s, and he was in a wheelchair for 4 years. 2 of those years, my mother had to go to work to support the children. Everybody remembers Meals on Wheels, so I called to see if we could have that delivered to him. Where every day they'd come and deliver a meal, say a greeting word. He got to know his driver.
I always knew that they did great work because my dad, Julius Kennerson, has been a client at East Feliciana Parish Council on Aging for 20 years. They are a blessing to our family.
I started off in 1981 as the bookkeeper, and became the administrative assistant. And in 2001, I applied for the executive director's position.
My degree was at LSU was Family, Child, and Consumer Sciences with a focus on the elderly. And my first position was at a senior center out in St. Gabriel, a rural community senior center, and Capital Area Agency on Aging provided the meals to the Iberville Council on Aging. That there is this network, this wonderful spiderweb network. There's so many people involved. And so I met, actually Jim Bluen was the director at that time, and Shirley was here, and a lot of the staff that's still here for over 25 years. And I was just really impressed with the passion.
Yeah, well, the whole idea of the Area Agency on Aging back in 1974 by Congress was to be an agency that would be an advocate as well as develop and coordinate services for the elderly. So we're there to find out what services are needed and get them to the seniors.
The rural parishes, in many cases, didn't have anything to help people like we were doing with the councils on aging, and it really made a tremendous difference in their lives.
Last year, we've been in probably the 7,000 to 9,000 area as far as population served, and we're just hitting a small percent of that population.
Services were added over time, and so we went from basically the first big change was the meals program, and then that got expanded to being able to do home delivered meals, and then over time the service array grew.
And from 1974 to now, I've seen us go from like 200 meals a day to over 2,400. And we're able to provide more home and community-based services to keep them in their own homes.
Over the last several years, we've gone a lot more to wellness services, preventing a fall or teaching people how to be more mobile.
The caregiver support program came in, and so that was touching base on not only the providing services for the seniors, but it was trying to provide help as far as respite and whatnot for caregivers of seniors.
We have more seniors now than we had back when I started working there. We've come a long way as far as technology. When I became bookkeeper, we did everything by hand, no computers. And we graduated for one computer in the office, and then it just kept escalating from there.
I think the major change really is that the focus shifted from lightweight services to very hard, specific social services that really do have the ability to keep people home and keep them independent and keep them from having to go into facilities.
We all have that same mission of these are our parents and our grandparents, and what can we do to improve their quality of life and keep them where they want to be. We all want to be there. I mean, we all want to stay in our homes as long as we can, and we all want to be independent.
It gives them an opportunity to remain in community. Getting these services from us, they can get a home delivered meals. Maybe they just need homemaker. Maybe they just need somebody to call them on the phone.
That's where they want to be.
Yeah.
They want to be in their home and community. They've lived there, most of them, all their lives.
Well, I think it has a lot of impact on the seniors' own children, because a lot of the services are services that they would have to do if they weren't being provided this way, and they can go to work and make a living instead of staying home and taking care of an elderly person. So, if you think about it just from an economic standpoint, it can be significant.
We do 10 parishes, meal deliveries and other services, and congregate meals and about 12 other services. But we do it in the outlying parishes. We don't do it in East Baton Rouge Parish. When you go out there, or when you drive through there, which we all do, you see a lot of rural people who are quite needy.
The persons delivering the meals were sometimes the only person that senior would see in a week or two or a month. And so they were able to just have a short visit.
A few months ago, we had some people down from the GAO, or the Governmental Accountability Office. They had been tasked by Congress to actually see if the meals programs were working across the country. And we were one of the agencies chosen here in Baton Rouge, in Louisiana. And they had been to rural Vermont before they came here. And we took them on a home delivered meal route in Greensburg, in St. Helena Parish. And we took them on a home delivered meals route in a congregate center in Donaldsonville. And they were just horrified they did not realize that people lived in the conditions that they live in now, and then the distance that was between neighbors on that rural route, and the fact that they had to go down little dirt roads and all of that to get to the next person's house, and they asked if someone actually lives there, and so those are kind of some of the challenges that we faced that evidently was nothing like rural Vermont.
My name is Bobby Washington, and I'm a driver for Ascension Council on Aging. I bring out meals to the elderly and the disabled. I've been doing it for 6 years. I started back in December the 26th of 2013. And it's important to the clients because there's a lot of them that, they rely on these meals because there's no one to help them. Like maybe they got a family that works in the morning hours. And, these meals are a big help to them until that family member can come home and help prepare, meals for the evening hour. I enjoy it because they really look forward to me coming. They enjoy my time there with them for a few seconds, delivering the meals and taking time out to just listen to them. And I enjoy that, and I get to know them very well. And over the years, I love all my clients, and I treat them all fairly in the same way. It's the love I have for the clients and the needs that they have. And that's what keeps me motivated and coming back. And I really do love what I do. Okay.
The aging population is only going to increase, and I think the nation's going to have to put more resources into it on the state level and the federal level.
Funding, things are getting tight. Funding is drying up on the state level and the federal level.
I just can't say enough about the people that put their time and energy into this network. This aging network is just such an amazing caliber of people.
One of the things that we've never been able to successfully do in Louisiana is integrate the services that are provided through the network, the aging network, with what's being provided through the Medicaid program. And there needs to be more interconnectivity to those services.
We need to consider the elderly and how they're being taken care of in their later years. And a big part of their quality of life, as you can imagine, is based on their independence and their ability to stay in their own home.
People are working longer, living longer, and so the challenge to us is to find activities that would be geared toward not only the oldest of the old, but the young elderly, because they don't want to play bingo.
Aging is a factor in any disease. If we could stop the aging process, that would stop cancer, heart problems, kidney disease.
Well, the biggest difference, I think, is wellness. That Congress is finally seeing that all seniors are not sitting on the porch in a rocking chair, that they want to get up and do exercises. We actually offer seniors Tai Chi.
If you're going to exercise, it has to be something that you enjoy. That's what I find with this Tai Chi. They get together, and in 6 months they form some friendships, lasting friendships. There's people that have nobody but their family at the Council on Aging, and how important these places are, this sense of community.
Seniors are great historians. I believe the grandchildren of the seniors who are still living should be visiting their grandparents and getting that history, and they can do that if they're still in community.
They know the history, they're there, they care. A lot of them have been through really hard times.
Giving back to the people who have lived their lives serving the community in one way or another.
We did a year-long Celebrate You. We've been celebrating our birthday all year long. And I'll never forget, we were in Porcupine Parish because we visited each one of the councils on aging. And there was a little lady, she was the oldest senior at the Council on Aging. She was in her 90s. And she hopped up out of her chair and she sashayed up to the front and got her award for being the oldest person in the senior center. And then after that, she wanted to say something. So it's just a joy to see them still involved in things.
I just want to say in closing, I wish Capital Area Agency on Aging a very, very good 45th birthday, very happy birthday. And it's been a pleasure being a part of them for over 16 years. And I know that there's only better things yet to come.
Okay, my name is Susan Demers, and let's just keep working together and keep taking care of our seniors.
Happy anniversary! Happy anniversary!
I'm Essie Kennerson, and I would like to say happy birthday to Capital Area Agency on Aging. I applaud you for the great work that you do on behalf of the Julius Kennerson family in East Feliciana Parish. Again, happy anniversary. I wish you many, 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 many continued years of great service. You are truly a blessing to all that you serve.
Happy anniversary!
I'm Sandra Adams. Again, I was Sandra Shallcross when I first worked in these programs. I'm so proud to see that this agency is still here 45 years later.
Hello there. My name is Shirley Merrick, and I want to say happy birthday to Capital Area Agency on Aging for providing 45 years of service to those 60 and older in the southeast region of Louisiana. Happy birthday!
Happy anniversary!